All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the San Francisco 49ers. Now, at the time of this recording, they're 5-0. They're going to be taking on the Cleveland Browns on the road, the number 3 rated defense in the National Football League, like 12 hours from the time of this recording. And when San Francisco wins and when Brock Purdy has a good game, I hope a lot of the NFL talking heads in the media world, I hope a lot of NFL fans give Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers the credit that they deserve, but more specifically, Brock Purdy. I mean, they just won 42-10 against the Dallas Cowgirls this past weekend. He's never lost a game that he's started and finished. I mean, it's insane what we are seeing right now. San Francisco has literally struck gold. Brock Purdy is on a rookie contract. He has the highest passer rating in NFL history right now if the season were to end at 123.1. PFF and like pretty much anywhere, any metric you want to use has them as like the number 1 top rated wide receiver room, defense in general, pass grade, you name it. And I did not like what I saw just, kind of in the NFL world, whether it's just, random NFL fans or people on TV talking about Brock Purdy. I love Shannon Sharp, and obviously this isn't a jab at Shannon Sharp, but to hear him say Brock Purdy is a system quarterback and that, there are some crazy names people are throwing out there that they would say, yeah, man, if you place him in a system with Kyle Shanahan, this GM, this offense, this defense, you give any QB in the league, Sam Darnold, or you give a guy like Sam Darnold, these guys, CMC, Debo, Ayuk, George Kittle, the offensive line, Kyle Shanahan, et cetera, they do the same thing. Now, look, you tell this to a San Francisco 49ers fan, and they'll discredit you as they should immediately. This is nothing like the Jimmy G era with San Francisco, but we're going to talk about that in tonight's video. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. We're trying to get these 49ers videos going again. If we could try and get 50 likes on tonight's video, that would mean the absolute world to me. Niners fans, we're trying to post at least a couple of videos on this squad every single week. So, I can understand that when we look at the San Francisco 49ers, or more specifically, when you look at Brock Purdy, it's easy to point fingers and be like, look, he's never trailed in the fourth quarter for more than 3 minutes his entire NFL career. But as we just alluded to, if you ask a San Francisco 49ers fan, or if you just, are familiar with, San Francisco during the Jimmy G era, it's completely different. Yes, San Francisco has a loaded roster. You really don't see this that often. I mean, they're set running back, quarterback, offensive line, wide receiver room, tight end room, defense, the entire defense. I mean, this team is absolutely loaded. And if you ask me, San Francisco is certainly going to win the Super Bowl as long as Brock Purdy just stays healthy. A lot of people kind of forget in that NFC Championship game, the dude got hurt, the dude came back, and the dude is still lighting things up. He has yet to throw an interception this season. He's thrown for almost 1,300 yards. And that's why I can't wait for this game against the Cleveland Browns, because the Cleveland Browns, while Deshaun Watson isn't going to be playing, I mean, San Francisco is going to manhandle them. But their defense, man, their defense is so freaking good. They're the 3rd rated defense in the National Football League this season for a good reason. But when we look at Brock Purdy, and when we look at, hopefully 12 hours from now, what he did to that defense, even without it, Brock Purdy has something that like quarterbacks, people would just kill for. He has instincts, man. These are things you just simply cannot teach. Yes, maybe I could throw a couple of quarterbacks in Kyle Shanahan's system and they would see success, but I genuinely don't think we would see the success that we're seeing right now from Brock Purdy. He's like 10-0 in his career in these games that he started in the regular season. He's always in control. I mean, we talked about this all the time on this channel last year. For a 23-year-old, at that point, he was 22 years old. I mean, the dude was a rookie who was drafted in the 7th round and wasn't even the starter for majority of the season. And when he just got kind of thrown in there, I mean, he looked like he had been in the league for 5 seasons at minimum. I would say he looked like a 10-year quarterback veteran. So to hear a guy like Shannon Sharp, he's, just one of many, saying, hey, he's just a product of this system, I kind of question, like, I know these guys are watching the 49ers games. Everybody's watching the 49ers games right now. So what are they seeing that I'm missing? What I see when I watch Brock Purdy throw the rock and just step on that field, obviously he's got that leadership. He's got that dog mentality. I love that kind of chip on his shoulder, but he's very humble. But he has, as we mentioned, something you simply cannot teach, and that is instincts. He sees the field, but more importantly, he understands the game. So yeah, I could throw in, we could sit here all freaking day and go through quarterbacks in the league right now, quarterbacks in the league 10 years ago. We could sit here all freaking night and be like, yeah, maybe this guy would do well. Maybe this guy would do well. But what we're seeing right now, I just feel like it's so disrespectful and it's so discrediting to not only Brock Purdy, but to their team in general. They have playmakers. They have CMC. They have Brandon Ayuk. They have George Kittle. They have Deebo Samuel. You still got to get the ball in these players' hands. Yeah, I could hand it off to CMC all freaking day. When we take a look at Brock Purdy's statistics, and like I said, I like to use, I'm not like an analytical nerd here. I like to use my eyes. I like to use the eye test. We saw it all last season. We've seen it all this season. What's the big freaking deal? And I can't wait for them to take on this Cleveland Browns defense so everyone can just shut up. I'm shocked that people are still chirping and people are still talking about that Dallas game. I mean, they won 42-10, folks. It was 21-7 at halftime. They controlled the game in every way, shape, and form, and it was led by Mr. Brock Purdy against the Dallas Cowboys freaking defense, which is just as good as the Cleveland Browns defense. They're currently ranked 7th in the National Football League, but they're only giving up 16 points per game. I think most people would agree with the fact that the Dallas Cowboys have an elite level defense, or if you don't think, if people get upset with the word elite sometimes, they have a severely, incredibly better word for it, above average defense. He torched them. 17-24, 252 yards, 4 touchdowns, more importantly, 0 interceptions. And that's where we get back into the instincts of it. That's where we get into he actually sees the field. Not only does he see the field, not only does he have the instincts, not only does he have the skill, most importantly, he understands the game. And Kyle Shanahan and every single San Francisco 49er player, coach, management, more importantly, fans, everybody's licking their freaking chops right now because they're thinking, dude, we're loaded. I mean, you just simply do not see this kind of stuff anymore. Once, with salary cap, with the defenses changing, with, going to 17 games, you name it, we don't see teams like this very often. And I'm going to love every single bit, every single second of it. And I will never understand why people try to sit back here on the microphone and be like, he's a product of a system. I just don't buy it for a second. And the NFL world knows this, but they'll accept it a little bit more with the Cleveland game, but it won't happen until the Super Bowl lands in San Francisco's hands once again. So that's it for tonight, man. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button. If you guys want more Niners content, let me know down below. Let's try and get this video to 50 likes. Like I said, it would mean the world to me, but hopefully we'll see you about a day from now with a 49ers win recap.